Hey, how y'all doing? Believe this is day 11. Kind of lost track of them. Not overly concerned. My biggest thing is hope I ain't making y'all bored. Today I figured I'd talk about a little bit of the effects. Not necessarily how it affects you, but warning signs that you could be experiencing PTSD. I'll relate it back more to my own personal experiences. And mostly this is just an attempt to let people know, wait a minute, oh, that's what that is. And I'm not the only one. The majority of my time, whenever we were convoying in Iraq, which wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough, I served as a turret gunner. Very important position, at least in my opinion. You're the shield, for lack of better terms, depending on your unit, on the unit and what we were trained on. We viewed our turret gunners as our shield, not as an attacking asset, but as a defensive, suppressive asset, which really that's what a belt-fed weapon is, which is typically what is up in the turret. And after the initial appointment, telling my wife we need to schedule an appointment, and it got her to talking to me about what she'd noticed I'd been doing. One of those things was I was sort of talking to myself. Lips were moving, nothing was coming out. It was typically when we were driving, and I think I know what this was, but I don't know for certain. I didn't realize I was doing it until I actually spoke out loud. I was on my way up to Sedalia one day for a meeting for the board of directors of Child Safe Central Missouri when I was on the program board for that. But I was on my way up for a meeting. I drive by this car, and the back end of the car was sunk way, 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 way down. Like it was loaded up with some form of explosives, which you would identify it as a VBID, vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. So they'd have the trunk of the vehicle just loaded down. And I was out on Highway 50 heading eastbound, and I go around this vehicle, and as I'm going around, I actually said out loud, I'd kill that vehicle. And at that point, I had a oh shit moment. Oh shit, I am doing this. That ain't good. And I didn't act outwardly in any way, shape, or form. I think what explains my actions and my talking without speaking when I was driving is, as the turret gunner, the way we handled it, we had our internal communications, and it was on a headset with a boom mic, and we had them set up for voice activated microphone. So the microphone was on and waiting, but it would key up and allow you to speak whenever you actually spoke, and everybody else could hear it. Well, the way we operated was the driver, the troop commander, and the turret gunner trumped everybody. So if there was conversation going on in the back, that's fine and dandy. But if any of those three piped up, everybody else shut up. Because they're having a conversation, more than likely what these guys are talking about is about your safety. So that's about the only thing I can really liken it to sort of explain it. I know of some people that I served with that did a lot of convoys. We had problems with some of those guys either causing or basically getting into accidents on 70 highway around the Kansas City area because a Walmart bag would blow across the road. And I mean, that seems really innocuous. All right, why would a Walmart bag cause an accident? Well, there's trash everywhere in Iraq. At least there was when I was there, and I don't see it changing. However, it might have. I hope for their sake it has. But there's just trash everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. It's ridiculous. And to make use of cover, the terrorists that would plant IEDs, they would hide them or disguise them in trash. So at all costs, you didn't run over trash on the road, because you never knew if that bag of trash was actually a bomb. And our team, we didn't have any mine rollers or anything of that nature, which would take care of that sort of issue. And a lot of the teams, for the mission that we did, it didn't make sense for the extra expense to have mine rollers. And they made the vehicles a little bit harder to handle and maneuver, but either way. But it may seem like the most innocuous of things that will trigger some sort of response through your PTSD. Whether it be verbal, minor psychological, full-blown flashback, nightmares, something of that nature. You never really know. It all depends on the purpose of the person, and it all depends on how our mind decides to allow that to be manifested, or decides that it should be manifested. Sorry, I'm out brush hogging. Once again, one of my things that I do keeps me grounded, keeps me settled. I go out and I work. We've got a pretty large farm. For a hobby farm, it's very large, but for your conventional farm ground, no, it's tiny. It barely qualifies as a farm. It would be more of a hobby farm in comparison to a lot of these. Either way, it takes a lot of maintenance, which I enjoy in the first place. It helps keep me nice and even keel. Another thing that I do, my wife and I do, that we both really enjoy, is every night after doing chores, normally starting around this time of year, sometimes a little later, we'll start doing what we refer to as drive the block. And it's the nearest roads to our property. We drive in the evening, we count deer and look at deer. Something we both enjoy doing. Speaking of which, guys, single guys, if you can find a woman that likes doing what you like doing, you, in my opinion, will have a much happier marriage. I've taught my wife to deer hunt. She has really gotten to the point. She really enjoys it. She's taken a few deer. She hasn't got a buck yet. Working on that. But we've got really good opportunities here. And she's got her honey hole stand. We call it the she shed. And that's where she hunts. That's about the only place you can get her to hunt. She likes it that much. But it's just something we enjoy doing. And then I send out a nightly report to my dad, brother, and uncle. Uncle Jim, if you're watching this, you're welcome down anytime. That's part of the reason why I send these out. At least the deer reports, trying to goad you into coming down. Dad and Lee come down quite often. Dad hasn't missed a year since we bought the place. Has really enjoyed himself. And it's just stuff that we do to cope, stuff that we enjoy, spend time with family. But I firmly believe if I hadn't sought out help, I'd probably be at the point where I wouldn't be fit to be around family. Consider my preteen daughter brought me a beer because, as she said, I was nicer when I drank, and I didn't drink that much. I probably, if I hadn't went and gotten help, I'd probably be divorced by now. That's just one of those, in my opinion, it's a fact. It would happen. Apparently I was getting to the point of being unbearable, and something needed to change dramatically. And the point of all these videos is not necessarily to normalize, but take away the taboo of PTSD, depression, anxiety, seeking help, being on antidepressants, anything of that nature. And there's nothing wrong. It's not a sign of weakness to go get help. If anything, it's a sign of strength. You have the you're self-conscious enough to understand that you do need to go get help. That there's something not right, not the way you used to be, and not the way that you could be, and you need to fix that. So please, if you think you need help, go see if you do. You might not. For me, like I said before, the psychologist really didn't blow my skirt up. Didn't seem to be that effective. We just, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say didn't see eye to eye, but it just didn't seem to be working. And part of it, I came to the determination that what was irritating me, I had a right to be irritated about. I did not have a right to be as irritated as I was about it. And since being on meds, I'm a lot easier to deal with, a lot easier to tolerate. My wife has yet to tell me to go back and say, hey, you need to get your meds adjusted. It's sort of surprised my primary doctor. I've been lucky in the military. I've had the same primary care manager for about, it's been better than 10 years. So she knows me really well. Get along with her great. She doesn't pull any BS. She doesn't try and feed me a bunch of medical terms that are over my head and this, that, and the other. And if you are so lucky as I am to find a PCM or a doctor that will approach things in that manner, by God, don't let them go. It will make life a lot easier on you, in my opinion, but either way. Once again, y'all, thanks for watching these videos. I appreciate all the support and encouragement. If there's anybody out there that would like to share their own story, please do so. The point of this is, at least in my opinion, the whole point of doing the videos and everything was get down and dirty, get honest, and show people that, hey, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Well, there is something wrong with you, but there's nothing wrong with getting help, with needing help. And I think that the more people that would possibly do this, I think the better off we would be in the long run. I don't know that. It's just my own opinion. But also at the same time, I know I have friends who suffer with, or I shouldn't say suffer, who have PTSD. But I'm not going to call out names, because to me it's a choice whether or not you decide to do something like this, like I did. It has to be a choice. It can't, if you try and force somebody into doing this, the outcome's not going to be good. And your stereotypical military person with type A personality, and forcing a type A to do something they don't want to do can turn freaking ugly. So I'm just not going to do it for very many aspects, but if you feel so moved or would like to share, not just military, anybody who has PTSD, suffers from depression, anxiety, anything of that nature, please. The more people, in my opinion, that we get to talk about this, the better off we're going to be in the long run. Where we might get somebody who wasn't willing to talk, who wasn't willing to seek help, to go out and talk and seek help. But once again, thank you all. I do appreciate it very much. Need somebody to talk to, give me a holler. You can reach me by email. I'll give you my number. You can call me. Or you can reach me through Facebook. My YouTube profile is my name, Lane Taff, Laynetaff. I don't put any fancy username or anything on there yet. I toyed around with doing one for the farm, but we'll see, maybe later. But right now I just want to focus on this. But y'all have fun, appreciate it, take care.